Hi guys, today we're going to be multiplying mixed numbers. And a mixed number looks something like this, 3 1/5. We call it a mixed number because it has a whole number and then a fractional part. Today for multiplying mixed numbers, the first thing that we're going to have to do is convert our mixed numbers to improper fractions. So we need to go over the steps for that first. So the first step is to multiply the denominator by the whole number. So the first thing that I'm going to do is multiply this 5, which is our denominator, the bottom number, by this whole number 3. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. So that's the first step. I'm going to just note that is 15. Then add my answer to the numerator. So 15 plus my numerator of 1 gives me a numerator of 16. That's my new numerator. My denominator stays the same. So my denominator is 5. That stays the same. My answer for 3 1/5 equals 16/5 as an improper fraction. So steps 1 and 2 give me my numerator. I'm seeing if you can see this here. Numerator. And then step 3 is for my denominator. Okay, now that we know how to do that, we're going to go through the steps for multiplying a mixed number, okay? And then we'll do a couple of examples, and it might make a little bit more sense as we go through the examples, but let's try to just take the steps first. Okay, so step 1 is going to be to convert both mixed numbers into improper fractions. Okay, so step 1 is going to be take both of your mixed numbers and convert them into the improper fractions, just like we did in the previous part of the notes. Then step 2 is going to be to cross reduce, or if you want to call it simplifying, either one is a proper term. So we're going to look at that butterfly way of reducing. Remember, if we had like 16 over 3 and 3 over 8, 8 and 16, you can divide by 8, and then 3 and 3 you can divide by 3. Okay, and then you create your new number. And then step 3 is to simply multiply numerators and multiply denominators. So you just multiply straight across, just like we were doing with multiplying fractions. Okay, and then step 4 is to reduce / turn back into a mixed number. You guys have been doing this for a little while, turning things back into a mixed number. We'll review how to do that in our first example today. So if you can flip your sheet over, we're going to do number 1 together, and then I'm going to have you do the other 3 on your own, and we'll go through the answers for them. So number 1, you have 1 2/4 times 3 5/6. Okay, so my step 1 was to make these into improper fractions. So 4 times 1 plus 2, and I just kind of think about it as a C, kind of a C from the bottom up. So 1 times 4 is 4, plus 2 is 6. So I get 6 My denominator doesn't change, 4. Then I look here. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 5 is 23. So I get 23 over 6. Step 2 says to look across to reduce. So I look at this 6 and 6. What goes in evenly? Well, they're the same number, so 6 is going to go in evenly. I look at my 23 and 4. Does anything go in evenly to 23 and 4? Well, 23 is prime, and 4 doesn't go into 23. So that one just stays the same. So I can rewrite that I now have 1/4 times 23 over 1. That gives me 23 over 4, because 1 times 23 is 23, and 4 times 1 is 4. My last step is to then turn it back into a mixed number. Okay, so I look. How many times does 4 go into 23? Well, 4 goes into 23 5 times, and that gets me to 20. And then how many more do I need to get to 23, or how many left over do I have? 3. That's my new numerator. My denominator always is staying the same. So my answer for this first one is 5 3/4. All right, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try the next 3, and we'll go over the answers to them. Okay, welcome back. We're going to do number 3, and I know these are not in the right order, but that's just the way that I was able to screenshot them. So anyway, 2.5 turns into 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2. 3 4/5 turns into 19 over 5. Check yours and see if you got the right improper fractions. Okay, 5 can be divided by 5 as well as this 5. So 19 and 2, nothing goes in evenly to both. So I have 1 over 2 times 19 over 1. Multiply across, and I get 19 over 2. 2 goes into 19 9 times. That gets me up to 18. So I have 1 left over, and my denominator stays the same. My answer is 9.5. Number 2 down here, I get 7 over 6 times 24, 30 over 12. This one's a little tougher. What can go in evenly to both 7 and 12? Nothing. Okay, what can go in evenly to both 30 and 6? Well, 6 does go into 30, so I can do divide by 6. That gives me new fractions of 7 over 1 times 5, because 30 divided by 6 is 5, over 12. I then multiply across, so 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 12 is 12. Then I reduce. 12 goes into 35 twice. Okay, and 12 times 2 is 24, so I still have 11 more to get up to 35. My bottom number stays the same, so 2 and 11 twelfths. All right, the last one here. You have 3 times 3 plus 1 gives you 10 over 3. 10 times 1 plus 4 gives you 14 over 10. Okay, and then you look across. This one again, 10 and 10. So divide by 10 on both. So you get 1 over 3 times 14 over 1. 14 and 3 don't have anything that go in evenly to it, so those just stay the same. Multiply across, 14 over 3. 3 goes into 14 4 times. That gets me up to 12, so I have 2 more to get up to 14. My denominator stays the same. My answer is 4 2/3. We'll be doing more of these problems in class tomorrow. Have a good night.